I'm about to show you the 25 tips and tricks you absolutely need to know if you want to win more games in college football 25. And if you need to know more beginner style tips like how to pass, how to catch, how to beat man in zone defense, I've already done a video on that, which I'll link at the end of this one. This video is going to focus on more specific tips. Number 1, be mindful of the wear and tear system. Wear and tear is a very big part of gameplay in college football 25. Basically, you want to make sure that you're not taking unnecessary hits, because if you do, your player's wear and tear is going to add up and his ratings will slowly decrease throughout the game. This is really critical for quarterbacks. You want to make sure that you're sliding or getting out of bounds and not taking hits. You want to make sure you're getting rid of the ball as quickly as possible and not getting sacked a lot or taking hits as you throw late. Number 2, how to run the option correctly. Now in your playbook, if you want to see what types of options you have, you can tab over to the concept tab by pressing the RB or R1 button. You want to go down to option and it'll show you the different kinds you have. Now there's tons in every playbook. There's speed options, there's RPOs, there's read options, there's triple options, but for this video, we're going to focus mostly on speed options. Now, I love speed options because they are the best in the game, and the defense does not do a really great job at defending the running back on this. So what you want to do when you run the option is you want to hold it for a brief second, and then you want to hold the LB or L1 button to do a strong pitch to your running back. Make sure you are holding down the LB or L1 button to hit him with a strong pitch and stride, and you can create some really big plays like this. You want to just take a few steps with your QB, and then you want to pitch it. You don't want to wait too late, because if you do, you can get hit and fumble the ball. Now, you can keep the ball with the quarterback if the defense cheats a little bit to the running back, but typically you want to pitch it most of the time, because even when they do focus on the running back, they'll still usually bite a little bit when you pitch it, and the outside will still be open for huge gains. Number 3, how to defend the option. So to me, the best way to defend the option is to do it manually. So I like to get on the defensive end, for example, that is going to be on the side where the option is going to be run, because some people just like to spam these. And what you want to do is you want to run down here and defend the running back, because if they pitch the ball to you, you can actually intercept it. And that's exactly what it'll look like right there. If you pick off an option, you're probably going for a touchdown if your defender is fast enough. Number 4, the best ball carrier moves. By far, the best ball carrier moves in college football 25 are going to be the precision juke and the precision spin. To do the precision juke, you want to hold down the sprint button, which is right trigger or R2, and then you want to juke either inside or outside by flicking the right stick to the left or to the right. This is going to give you a really fast juke that covers a lot of ground, and both AI and user defenders struggle to get tackles against these types of jukes. The precision spin is done by also holding down the right trigger or the R2 button, and then you will hold down the B or circle button depending on your system. Then you want to point the left stick in the direction that you want to spin. Much like the precision juke, this is going to be really fast, it's going to cover a good amount of ground, and it's going to be very hard to stop. Which brings us to tip number 5, the best abilities in the game. So we have to start with the ball carrier abilities that affect the juke and the spin, which we just talked about. The sidestep ability is a juking ability that is going to give you even better and faster jukes. And guys that have this on gold or platinum, like an Ollie Gordon, for example, is going to have crazy jukes that are going to be almost impossible to stop. The 360 ability on gold and platinum is going to do the same thing, but for spin moves. So guys like Judkins from Ohio State is going to be super hard to stop when you spin with him. Another great ability on offense is the takeoff ability, which both running backs and wide receivers have, and this gives them a little bit of a jump on their routes. So with running backs out of the backfield, you can beat man defenders easier with this, and for fast receivers, you can beat guys off the line for streaks and deep routes. On the defensive side of the ball, pass rushing abilities like quick jump are going to allow you to get a jump off the snap and help you get to the QB a lot faster, and other abilities such as pocket disruptor will help you shed blocks quicker as well. You definitely want to find some defensive linemen with these abilities. Number 6, how to use route stems. This is one of the best features ever added to football gaming. Basically, you can take most routes in the game and you can stem them to any depth. You can make them shorter or you can make them longer. Let's take a look at an example right here. On the left side of the field, we have a curl and a flat. This is a popular concept versus zone coverages. Now, we're going to go against a regular cover 3 right here. Now, either the curl or the flat will be open depending on how the cover 3 plays. Now, if we're going against a standard cover 3 like this, we would attack it by hitting the flat route underneath. But now if we try to throw the curl route versus that same coverage, you can see it's an interception. But what if we wanted to throw both of these routes versus a standard cover 3? Well, with route stems, we can do that by adjusting the depth of this curl route. So what we do is press Y or triangle depending on which system you're on. Then you're going to select the receiver's icon, which in my case is the X receiver. And then you're going to hold down either the LB or L1 button depending on your system, while adjusting the left stick up or down to either make the route shorter or longer. We want want to make this route longer, so we're going to push the curl back to around the 10-yard line. And now with this combination, what we're going to be able to do is actually hit both of these routes because we're putting the curl defender kind of in no man's land where he can't quite defend either of them. Really quickly, I do want to mention that I also have a membership where I post the most high-level college football 25 tips and strategies. There you can find my ebooks, top offensive schemes, and defenses to help you win more games. The link will be in the pinned comment below if you want to check it out, and I'm currently running a limited time 7-day free trial, so you can check it out at no cost to you. Number 7, how to use the switch stick. This is another great feature that was added to the game, and it allows you to switch between defenders post-play. So for example, I'm sitting here using this linebacker, but if I flick the stick up, now I'm on the safety and I can jump back here. I can flick this down and now I'm on the corner. I can flick it to the left. I can move around to literally any player I want while the ball is in the QB's hands. So for example, I can try to take away this tight end and then I can jump down on this guy and jump on the running back just like that. So you're actually able to take away multiple routes at one time. Let's show another example. I'm going to run with the tight end briefly, and then I'm going to click up to the safety, and I'm going to jump back here to go make a play on the ball. The switch stick is one of the best features ever added to a football game. Get familiar with it in practice mode, and it'll help take your defense up a notch. Hey, if you're still here at this point of the video and you haven't subscribed yet, you might as well go ahead and subscribe, join the family. That way you stay up to date on all the best college football tips all year long to help you win more games. Number 8, how to disguise your coverage. There's a new coverage shell feature in the game as well, and what this allows you to do is disguise your coverage once you open up any formation. Once you select a formation like nickel or dime or whatever the case, you'll notice that you can move the right stick and it'll give you different coverage shells that you can disguise in that coverage. So you can show a cover 0, a cover 2, a cover 3, a cover 4, whatever options are available in that formation. And so now when you come out on the field, it'll show that coverage look even if you come out in a completely different coverage. So here, for example, we're going to show a cover 3 look, but we're going to actually come out in a cover 0 blitz. So this looks like a cover 3 or maybe a cover 1 man defense, but we're actually running a cover 0 blitz, so our opponent might not be expecting us to be in a cover 0 blitz, thus we get to him quicker or we make him hold the ball longer because we confused him. Number 9, utilize drag routes. Drag routes are some of the easiest to use in the game, and most people struggle to defend them because they don't like to adjust their coverage that much. To hot route a drag, what you want to do is press Y or triangle, select the receiver's icon, so right here I'm going to select my tight end A, and then I'm going to go down on the right stick to put him on a drag. And what's good about these routes is they usually do a good job against man, but they also get underneath zone just like this, and you can catch and run for easy yards. The reason these do well is because zones are going to drop a little further back to respect the other routes, and you'll be able to just eat them up underneath. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tight end and my slot receiver on a drag. Now I have 2 drags, and this is a really good concept versus man as well because it creates a mesh which can create a pick and allow them both to get free. But against zone, you have the option to throw either one of them as they kind of clear the zone defenders, and you can just pick up easy yards. Now for tip number 10, how do you stop drags? Well, it's actually very easy. A lot of people just don't do this. What you want to do is shade your defense down. So if you're in a zone defense like a cover 2 or a cover 3, those are going to be the best coverages to do this out of. What you want to do is press Y or triangle, and then you want to go down on the right stick for underneath. And you'll notice that the intermediate defenders are now going to play a little bit more aggressively. So I'm going to go ahead and put both of those drags on this play again, but I want you to watch how they defend it now. They're going to be all over it, and what's going to happen is usually you'll get a pick. We dropped it there, but hey, that's better than giving up 10 yards. But this is what they're going to do. They're going to rally down and they're going to limit these drags to 1 to 2 yards, or they're going to pick them off. Number 11, how to blitz. I'm going to show you the easiest blitz in the game that literally anybody can run. It's not going to work every single time, but it's going to give you the best chance. What you want to do in your playbook is you want to go to the nickel formation and you want to go over to your double mug. Every playbook has some version of double mug in the nickel, and you want to pick the mid blitz 0. It's that simple. The reason this works is because we have 6 guys rushing and the offensive line only has 5 blockers. So unless our opponent blocks a running back or a tight end, we're going to have a free rusher because we have an extra guy. Now what you want to do is you want to get on the safety that is responsible for the running back. If the running back goes out on a route, you have to take him. If we make our opponent block the running back, that's one less receiving option, and then we can take our user and just roam over the middle of the field. So what's going to happen here is we'll take the running back, and you see we have a free rusher, and you can't get to the QB any quicker than that. Now again, if they block the running back, that's going to pick this up, but you'll still get pretty quick block sheds, and then your job is to just stay over the middle and try to watch anything coming open while the pass rush gets in. Now tip number 12 is how to beat the blitz, which we kind of just somewhat went over, but the first step to that is blocking your running back. You absolutely need to block the running back if you want to pick up the the blitz, but you still need to be ready to throw hot and get the ball out quick, because as you just saw, when you're rushing 6 guys, somebody's going to shed a block and still get to you pretty quickly. So to block your running back, you press Y or triangle, you select the running back's icon, which is Y in my case, and then you are going to press the right trigger or the R2 button. Now our running back's in a blocking assignment. But now we also need a couple of quick hitting options, because as we just saw, blocking a running back still isn't going to buy you a whole world of time. So 2 good quick hitting options are going to be a zig and a drag. I'm going to put my slot receiver on a zig by pressing Y or triangle, selecting his icon, and selecting the zig option on my chart. Then I'm going to put the tight end on a drag, which we just went over a little bit ago. Both of these will typically do a good job versus a man or zone blitz. So as you can see here, look how quick the zig route develops. We're able to get it out quick and get some huge yards. And we also have the trusty drag, which we can throw quick to beat the blitz as well. Number 13, how to roll out effectively with your QB. Rolling out with your QB can be extremely effective because not only can you scramble for yards, but it also helps you deliver deep passes because it manipulates the defense a little bit. Now, to ensure that you're able to roll out most of the time, first you want to slide your line to the side you're rolling out. So in our case, we're going to the right. We want to hold down the LB or L1 button to bring up our pass protection. We want to hold that down, and then we want to press right on the left stick for a full slide over to that side. Then we want to double team the furthest pass rusher. So we're going to go LB or L1 again. We're going to press down on the right stick, and you'll see this little plus icon pop up. We're going to put it on this guy right here, the outermost pass rusher, the defensive end. Now we can roll out with our QB. We can either take it with him or we can throw the ball down the field, as the underneath zone is going to have to focus on us a little bit. Now, tip number 14 is how do we stop these rollouts? So the first thing you want to try is a QB contain, which, let me be honest, does not always work, but it's the first thing you want to try because it's the easiest to set up. You press the RB or R1 button twice, your outside guys will be in contains. Now, on a typical rollout, this will stop it like this because they will have a containment on the edge and they will not let you get out. But if somebody is sliding and double teaming and trying to manipulate your contain so that they can break it, you have to go to the next step, which is putting somebody in a QB spy. Now we can put our linebacker, we can put a defensive end, just make sure they're fast. So we're going to get on our linebacker here. We're going to press the A button on Xbox or the X button on PlayStation, and then we're going to go left on the right stick for a QB spy. Now when we roll out, you'll notice this player follows the QB and he will attack him if he tries to run. Number 15, how to set custom audibles. So let's say you love this formation, the trips tight end offset. When you open the formation up, you can press the left trigger or the L2 button, and that's going to pull up your audibles. Now let's say that you like some of these audibles that are in here, but you don't like them all. So for example, you don't like the play scat. You can select that play and you can replace it with another play. So let's scroll down and say we're going to put a slip screen here, for example. And then maybe you want to change the PA crossers play to something else. So we're going to go and select the speed option. And now what you want to do in this formation once you've set your audibles is you want to come out in your favorite play, your bread and butter. And now when you're on the field, you have the option to audible to all the other best plays that you like in this formation by pressing the X or square button, and you'll have your audibles here at your disposal. Now you can also pull up your audibles and you can go to different formations that have the same personnel by going left or right on the D-pad, and you can set custom audibles for all these formations and have all of your favorite plays at your disposal. You can also do the same thing on defense, of course. Open your formation, press the left trigger or L2 button, and you can swap out any of these audibles for a coverage or a blitz that you like better. Number 16, trick plays are good. In these playbooks right here, there's a trick play in the Y trips offset weak formation called the reverse flea flicker. This is a play that works really good against zone defense, so if you're playing against somebody that likes to run zone a lot, you can catch him napping once, sometimes even twice a game with this, and if he's not manually back there to watch this, it's going to be an automatic touchdown. The only thing is you do need a little bit of time to get this off, so as long as your blocking holds up, this will be a touchdown versus zone every single time. I do believe these plays are working as intended. I think they wanted to make trick plays viable, and that's why they beat zone defense a good amount of the time. To stop a play like this, you want to blitz heavily so that you can get to the QB before he has a chance to get the ball off, or you want to manually guard the deep post. Another great trick play can be found in the split slot offset formation, which is popular in the Arkansas playbook, but it's also in these other playbooks that I have on the screen right now. And the play is called the motion double pass. Much like the flea flicker, this is going to beat zone defenses, so you do not want to be caught in zone because they are going to bite on the double pass and it's going to leave a touchdown open. Now to stop this, what you want to do is you want to run a man defense. You might even want to back the defense off a little bit by pressing Y or triangle triangle and then up on the left stick. The man defender does not typically bite, and he will stay with the receiver so that you will not be able to just throw this up. As you can see, he's completely locked down now. Number 17, Wildcat is good. The Wildcat runs in this year's game are actually pretty good, and you can find them in a lot of playbooks like Oregon, Kansas, and these other ones that are on the screen. Now, some playbooks have different versions of Wildcat, but you want to pay attention to some of the runs, you want to pay attention to the jet sweeps, and you even have a jet reverse pass that is similar to that flea flicker we just went over. Now, against zone defense, this little reverse flea flicker is going to work the same as the other one did. It's going to beat the defense for huge plays or even touchdowns. If you want to stop plays like this or Wildcat in general, your best bet is going to be to actually blitz it and really just hope for the best. You've got zone runs, you've got power runs, you've got blasts. All of these are pretty good. You've even got motion plays. So we'll just take a look at some of the runs here, and you can see the blocking is really good on them, and with the ball carrier moves being good, like I talked about earlier in the video, any play is a touchdown waiting to happen. Number 18, how to use RPOs. Now, if you go over to the concept tab in your playbook and you go down to option, you can look at RPO plays as well. Now, RPO alerts are going to be the easiest and safest to run, and really the ones I like to use that I think are the best and the simplest are going to be RPO alert bubbles, which if you scroll through your playbook, you should have a decent amount of these RPO alert bubbles. These are really good out of shotgun formations, and they look similar to this. You'll have an inside run option to the halfback, and you'll have a bubble screen with blockers to the outside. Now, how you want to read this pre-play is you want to look over at the bubble screen and you want to assess the defense. We can see that there's a few defenders lined up over our 3 receivers, whereas if we look at inside the box here, we can see there's not a lot of players inside the box, so the run looks better. So we're going to snap the ball and let them hand it off to the running back. We don't have to press anything, and then we're just going to run up the middle for easy yards. Now, right here, pre-play, if we look to the outside, we can see that there's only 2 defenders over our 3 receivers. The safety at the back doesn't count. He's too far away. So we have numbers here, so we could assume that the bubble's probably going to be open. And if we look in the box, we can see there's 6 players in the box. So what we're going to do is snap the ball. We're going to hold the X button to throw to the bubble, and we're going to hope the blocks hold up. Right there, they didn't, but we still got a few yards. And what you want to do is just peek over at the bubble screen. At any time, if you see that there are not a lot of defenders over there or they're committing to the inside, you can throw these bubbles and you can get out for some huge yards. Number 19, use the jet touch pass. This is one of the best and easiest ways to get yards in this game, and a lot of people have no clue how to stop it. Now, every playbook should have at least one jet touch pass, if not multiple. How to find where these are in your playbook is simple. You want to scroll over to the play type tab, select pass, and then the first option that comes up is quick pass, and that'll show you where your jet touch passes are. And this is the simplest play you can run in the game. It's pretty much impossible to mess it up. It's very low risk, very high reward. They just pitch it to your guy, and then you just go up the field, follow your blockers, try to make a guy miss in the open field. Number 20, halfback slip screens are good. Now, this is another thing you can find in pretty much any formation in your playbook, but if you want to find your screen passes, you can do the same thing as we just showed. Go over to play type, go over to pass, and then you tab over to screen passes, and you can find all the slip screens that are in your playbook. These are really good this year. They're really good against zone, they're good against the blitz, and they're even good against like standard man coverages as well. Just make sure you're getting the ball out on time. Definitely practice this because you don't want to take a sack or take a hit with your QB and fumble. Number 21, how to kick field goals. Look, there's no way around it. It's really hard to kick field goals with this new system, but I'm going to show you what you want to do, and then from there, it's just all down to your timing. The first thing you want to do on field goals is you always want to hold the left stick all the way down. Notice how this moves the arrow down, and this is going to give you the max possible distance, so this will help you hit longer field goals. From there, once you're holding it down, you'll move the arrow to the left or to the right, depending on how you have to aim. Now, right now, we're in the middle, so we don't have to push it that way. And then you just have to watch this football that's going back and forth and really just get into practice mode and practice stopping this as close to the middle as possible. Now, once you hold down the A or X button to stop this in the middle, you need to continue holding the button down. Don't let it go, and you're going to fill up your arrow, and then you're going to release it once the power gets to where you want it. So it should look something like this, and as you can see, we hit it right down the middle. Now, one thing to make sure to do is do not let the arrow fill all the way up, because if it goes all the way to the top to the red, that can also affect your accuracy. It doesn't mean you're going to miss the field goal, but it gives you a chance to, because it's considered an overkick. So let's see if we can get an overkick here to show you what I mean, and as you can see, we missed the field goal because of that. So you want to try to fill it up as close to the top as possible without actually going all the way to the red. Number 22, how to limit kick returns. What you want to do is a squib kick by pressing LB or L1, and then I like to move the arrow over to the left a little bit, get it in the middle, and kick it with about this much power. Not very much, It's going to kick it to this guy here, and then we're just going to run down and make the tackle. You should stop him between the 28 and the 30 most times. It's better for them to start the drive at the 28 or the 30 or the 32 than to get past midfield or score a touchdown. We'll take this every time. Number 23, set your coaching adjustments. Now at your play call screen, you can press the R3 or the right stick in, and it's going to pull up your coaching adjustments. Now on offense, the only one that I really mess with is going to be ball carrier. The other ones I just like to leave on balance. Now for ball carrier, what you might want to do is put this on conservative. Now you won't be able to use any of your special moves like jukes or spins, but this will prevent you from fumbling most of the time. So you'll want to use this at the end of the game if you have a lead and you're just trying to protect the ball and not give it back to your opponent. Now on defense, there's a lot more coaching adjustments we need to be mindful of. Your auto flip defensive play call, this should be on by default. Leave this on, it's for the best. One of the most important ones is the option defense read key. You should always have this set to conservative because on read options, the defense will always focus on the QB. And when people run read options, they don't really want to hand the ball off to the running back. They want to keep it with the QB and try to beat you for crazy yards. So if you do this, you will stop the QB in the backfield for no yards, or you'll force them to hand it off to the running back into the teeth of your defense. Now for this game in particular, I actually like putting the tackling on aggressive because what this does is make your CPU go for hit sticks more often. The downside is more broken tackles will happen, but there's already so many broken tackles in this game anyway. What's a few more? With the trade-off being that you can possibly get a fumble or two a game. Number 24, important game settings. If you go over to the settings tab on the main menu, you can select game settings. There's a couple in here that you definitely want to make sure that you change. These are the two you need to worry about: ball hawk and heat seeker assist. Now ball hawk should be on by default, and this is going to help your players get interceptions, but defensive heat seeker assist is usually off. You want to toggle this to on, and what this is going to help you do is make tackles in the open field. And in this game, it is very hard to tackle in the open field, but it is going to be significantly easier with this on than with this off. It's going to kind of help steer you towards the ball carriers better for you to make wrap-up tackles. Number 25, use the mini games for practice. You could go into the mini games menu and you can practice the game this way, and some of these will really help you get better at the game. Now some of these that can actually really help you with the game are things like pass skeleton. This will help you be able to read coverages better and get comfortable throwing the ball in between tight windows. Rushing attack close quarters will help you better at running the ball and making defenders miss. The chase and tackle drill on defense is another great one because this can really help you get better at making one-on-one tackles, which is very hard to do in this game. And if you want to practice your punting and your field goals, you can do that by using coffin corner and field goal, where you can get reps over and over and get better at your kicking accuracy. Now that you know about these tips, you're halfway there. Now you need to check out this other tip video I did that's going to go over 10 basic things that you absolutely need to know when playing this game.